All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to talk about Keith one-time Thurman back in the news saying that he is there to replace Terence Crawford or Errol Spence Jr. when this fight falls through from the negotiations. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to talk about Keith one-time Thurman putting the pressure on these boys at 147 pounds, saying, look, y'all, if y'all ain't going to fight, it's my time, whether it's the Errol Spence Jr. fight or the Terence Crawford fight, but specifically putting Terence Crawford on blast and saying, look, dude, I've been said I was ready to fight you, and you didn't take the fight. Now, before I get into that in detail, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you're a longtime subscriber and supporter of the channel, thank you so much for your support. It really, really does mean a lot. If you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon so that you can be notified of when we release more videos, which we do pretty much on a daily basis in the video and in the live stream format. So always good boxing conversations we have. Been talking a lot about Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford in the video format as of late, but make sure you guys go and check out the live streams that we do where pretty much everything in boxing is being discussed at this time. It's just, you know, we're pretty much just a boxing world in the United States is pretty much in a circle pattern around this Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford fight. And will be, I do believe, for a little while until either that fight is announced or not announced. Now, or announced that it's not going to take place. And Keith Thurman threw a little shade at Terence Crawford about it and Errol Spence, and pretty much was like, look, man, pretty much doubting, sounded like he's doubting that this fight is going to get made. He's like, yeah, these guys, he says, you know, I'm ready to fight you since you guys are in these negotiations, like, and yeah, we think this fight's gonna happen, like rolling his eyes at it. Now, before I get into it, let me make sure I let you know real quick where this came from, because I definitely want to make sure that I give my guys credit, you know, for you know, the videos that they're doing. This came from my man on his channel, YouTube channel, goes by the name of Behind the Hands TV, and it was from a Instagram live video that was done. So definitely go check out my man. And there's, I'm actually playing the audio a little bit for I shouldn't do that. From my man Behind the Hands TV, who interviewed Keith Thurman about it on his channel. Also goes by the name of Mo City Menace. So shout out to you, my man. Really, really good people. Had a really good conversation with him. Now, as we know, Keith Thurman is a former unified 147 pounder. He was the former WBA he is the former WBA super and the former WBC champion. Lost his WBA belt to Manny Pacquiao, and before that had relinquished his belt, his WBC belt, because, you know, he wasn't going to be able to defend it in enough time because he was dealing with injuries. But now he's back. He fought earlier this year against Mario Barrios and said, you know, that he was ready to fight Terence Crawford. He said, just give me a little bit of time. Let me get myself a tune-up. He got that tune-up, and he's ready to fight Terence Crawford. Now, as far as whether or not he'd be able to fight Terence Crawford next, the fact that he says that he's able to fight Terence Crawford next, I think is a good sign. And that may be something that the PBC is willing to do if that Errol Spence Jr. fight doesn't take place. For me, I would say, man, I just want to get any fight at welterweight between these guys. That's what I want, so that we don't have to continue to talk consistently about what's going on with the Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford negotiations, right? Now, I'm not going to ignore the situation, because I do live streams every day. We're going to get asked about it, going to talk about it. Other people are doing videos about it, and that's just what the conversation is. But for the good of boxing, man, Terence, if you cannot get what you want out of the Errol Spence Jr. fight, fight the Keith Thurman fight and see if you can make that. Errol Spence Jr., I know, has already said that he would never fight. He's never going to fight Keith Thurman. But I'm in the great big school called I do not care as it relates to that. Now, when Keith Thurman was talking about the fight, though, between Terence and Errol and himself, he said that there is something that he likes about the Terence Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. fight, which is that Errol Spence Jr. has never dealt or never fought with a very, very athletic, a big punching athletic fighter that can move and do the things that Terence Crawford can do and the things that he can do. At the same time, mentioning this. I'm telling you, man, Keith Thurman is funny with this. Do not tell me Keith Thurman does not know who Jaron Ennis is, because he said, well, yeah, and there's some new guys, there's some other new kids on the block that look like that too. Yeah. A really big, everybody knows exactly who you talking about type kid named Jaron Ennis that also fits that. So Keith Thurman favors himself in a fight with Errol Spence Jr. because of that reason. Thinks Terence Crawford will give Errol Spence Jr. a fight because of that reason. And I'm okay with all of that. Now, Errol Spence Jr. is not going to want to take that fight because of what happened with Keith Thurman playing games back in the day when he was the champion, and making Errol Spence Jr. have to go all the way over to the UK to fight Kell Brook for the IBF championship. And then after that, refusing to unify the WBC belt and the IBF belt. And I do believe he might have had the WBA super belt at the time that he didn't take that fight, which would have gotten Errol to where he is much sooner, right, than the way that he had to go about without him, had to go about getting it without Keith Thurman getting him, right? So I understand full well why Errol wouldn't want to do that. But again, I'm a boxing fan, despite, the fact that some of y'all think that I'm everything Errol. No, dude, I'm not. It's not everything Errol. Even though I will tell you, I fully understand where he's coming from. And I do respect his decision, because he's the type of guy that is going to say what he's going to say what he says, and he means what he says. I can't do anything but respect that. He said that he was going to go collect 3 belts and then he was going to go fight Terence Crawford. He did exactly what he said he was going to do. He got all 3 belts. He didn't play around and take different mandatories and stuff, to add to get more fights and run up his pocketbook, right? Instead of taking the fight, when he tore that retina, when he got the car accident after the WBC, he came back, fought Danny Garcia, which is a good fight. After that, he was going to fight, even I guess that is a slight bit of a deviation, when he was going to go for the WBC regular belt against Manny Pacquiao, but still, so that's just a really, really big fight, big money fight. But when he tore his retina, he came right back out and fought Yordenis Ugas. And I do believe that if he had beaten Manny Pacquiao, instead of having the torn retina, that he would have unified belts with Yordenis Ugas and made that fight. And totally believe that he's trying to get this Terence Crawford fight. But I gotta agree with Keith Thurman. If this fight cannot get made and does not get made soon, man, all bets are, at this point, I'm already there. I'll take a fight between Errol Spence Jr. and Stanionis, or Jaron Ennis, or Keith Thurman, and I would take any combination of that with Terence Crawford, including Virgil Ortiz or Josh Taylor, who could move up from 140 pounds after his next fight. I really do just want to see more interesting fights, because it is very, very true, man, that in American boxing right now, until we get to December, I guess October 15th, when we got all those great fights, it's just, it's Canelo Alvarez, and it's just not really a lot going on. So I just say make the fights. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.